Welcome back to Linda's Pantry, and today I'm going to bring you along for a little bit of a garden haul, as well as a little chatting back and forth, kind of giving you a little update of what's going on, what might be coming up, and answering a couple of questions and addressing a few things that may have had some confusion on a couple of videos. So I thought, you know what, I'll just get it over with. I actually had the GoPro on this morning and went out to the garden and picked all these lovely vegetables, and all I hit was one picture, so I thought it was recording, and you can't see when it's on your head, so darn it. But I will do another garden update. The garden, I'm gonna address something here, and I really feel like it's in our area because everybody that I know that are gardeners have said the same thing. Everything is way behind this year. It's very slow. And I don't know if it's because we had too hot too soon, and it kind of stifles the plants. I'm not sure, but I definitely am not having the amount of luck I would have liked to have had. This time last year, this whole counter would have been covered with produce. So not that I'm not grateful, I certainly am, and I picked these 5 jalapenos this morning. I got 2 Anaheim chilies. They're kind of small, but they were starting to turn, so I wanted to go ahead and pick them. And then I have, these are the holy moly peppers. These peppers are fantastic. Oh my gosh, they've got a spice to them, but it's not hot. It's just delicious. It's a very earthy. It's one of my favorite peppers now, and very prolific. So if you can find holy moly peppers, go ahead and grab those. I've picked tomatoes, and these are all off the Early Girl tomato plants. A couple zucchini. I'm going to use one for zoodles. Zoodles? What's a zoodle, you say? And this one I'm probably going to use in a salsa. I'm going to make a salsa with all of this. And I'll use a little bit of this for zoodles as well as salsa. And we're going to have a delicious meal tonight with fresh salsa, and it's going to be fantastic. I'll add some garlic, some onion, and maybe pick some of those green onions out there to go along with our salsa. And so if you guys want to see how I make salsa from my garden vegetables, go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up. All right, so getting to some of the questions and addressing some of the things that have been coming up. As you guys know, I bought the small 10.5 All-American canner, and the reason I bought that is for small batch canning. My garden produces in waves, and so when I get a wave, it's usually not a big wave. I'm not picking a bushel of green beans like maybe Wanda and Danny are. Hi guys. I would love that, but that's not, that's not what we do here. So when I get enough to do a small batch, it's great. That little canner is convenient to bring out here, get it going, and boom, I'm done. And as soon as I get close to enough green beans, I go to my local market and look in the markdown rack and see if they've got any mushrooms. Now, the last time I was there, they didn't have anything out there, and I asked the young guy that was in the produce section, I said, well, sometimes I can get mushrooms at a really good price. Do you know when they normally put them out? And he goes, oh, I have a bag right here I can give you at a discount. And so I got almost 2 pounds of mushrooms for $1.99, and they're beautiful. There's nothing wrong with them. So they'll be in my next canning batch. One of the questions, well, actually, one of the things that is being addressed and advice given, and I certainly appreciate everybody's comments and everybody's advice, but that All-American canner, and I have another one, I have the 921, which is bigger, and the lid is never stuck on that. And I've read the manual cover to cover. I know that you are supposed to lubricate the rim that contacts the other metal part of the canner itself, and I prefer to use Vaseline, but I've used oil, I've used olive oil, canola oil, I've tried all of it, and every single time this canner has gotten stuck. It's not because it's not lubricated, it's because of the way it was machined, and apparently 1 in 100 of these canners will stick. Now, we're hoping that it outgrows that sticking, but I don't mind, honestly, because I just popped the lid with the claw end of the hammer. So there you go. I do know how to run the canner, and I do know how to take care of it, and I'm not at all upset because it is a great little canner, and I've really enjoyed using it. So I've addressed that. Now, I'm getting asked a lot of questions on, can I can this or that? Or I'm going to say right up front, please, no matter who you're watching out here on YouTube, even if they are a master canner, everybody is going to make a mistake, either a slip of the tongue, forget to do something because they're busy talking about what they're doing. Don't rely on us totally. Get yourself a reliable, approved source for canning. Home canning can be dangerous if not done right, and so you can't skip steps, you can't take chances, and you need to refer to a ball canning book. And I've been canning over 30 years, and so my experiences have all been wonderful. I've not had any terrible experience. Going to be doing making soap. I've already made a batch of soap for myself, but I've got these cute little molds, and I'm going to be making some gifts. Christmas is coming, so I'm going to make some soaps, and the next one that I'm making is a shea butter, and it's a melt and pour soap. So it's already made. The one that I made for ourselves is 100% coconut oil, and if you want to see that soap being made, again, leave me a comment. So like I was saying, if you'd like to see a video on how to make soap and give you some ideas for some really fun, very nice Christmas gifts for very little money. I mean, it doesn't take a lot of money to do these things. So if you want to see those, leave me a comment in the comment section. I did also want to address the fact that canning certain things, do they always come out the way you think they came out? No. Now, I tried a couple of recipes out of the new ball canning book, and for the most part, absolutely, it's my favorite canning book. But I've tried the cherry bourbon barbecue sauce, and it's okay. After it's been canned and it sits there, it gets pretty thick, and so you have to thin it down. And it's not that pretty red brick color. It's a darker, it's a brown basically. So it's not that appealing to the eye either. And that's kind of disappointing, even though I know, a chef did all their recipes and then they, went ahead and processed and made sure they were safe for canning. Some of these recipes are not great. Some of the recipes in the old ball books, like canning shrimp, I just recently got this. Don't can shrimp. They're horrible. They are horrible. And I followed the instructions to the letter. And I thought, what a great way to have that on your shelf. And they come out so mushy, you can squish them with just the lightest touch of your finger, and they taste very fishy. I did not enjoy them at all. We ended up putting them over the dog's food because I didn't want to waste them. So don't do shrimp. I even tried making shrimp cakes out of them. They're not worth it. If you can't find them fresh or frozen, don't worry about it. Do without. I wouldn't do it. What's the other thing I don't care for? I don't know that there really is anything that I don't care for, other than shrimp wasn't a good one. I'm not a huge fan of potatoes. It changes the flavor of the potato, and I want to like it really bad. I am going to try the new chicken stew recipe in the ball canning book. And I think it's, and you can use it for a pot pie when you open the jar, and it has potatoes in it. And so I'm going to go ahead and try that and see if I like that better. But I'll do a very small amount, I know that, just because I'm not a fan. But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys are liking the new camera, and I'll try to bring you along for a garden update. Oh, I did make, yesterday, I made refrigerator pickles and I was able to use the grape leaves from my grapevine for the first time to keep those pickles really crisp. And when I open the jars, I'll go ahead and let you see how crisp they are. We're going to give it a couple of days in the refrigerator, but you pour that hot brine over it, and the fresh dill out of the garden, yum. I cannot wait for those pickles. So anyways, if you guys have any other questions, go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section. Don't worry about my canner, and we'll see you on the next canning video. I'm going to leave up in the corner of the video, I believe it's in this corner, I'm going to leave you a link to some canning videos. But I'm also going to have a poll card. Those are iCards up there. There's a little circle with an I in the middle. I'm going to leave a poll for you, what you would like to see, and I'm kind of copying Brad and Krista. Brad had a great idea of asking his subscribers, what would you like to see from this channel? And so I already told him, I'm stealing your idea. I think it's a great way to get in touch and know immediately from your subscriber base what they'd like to see. So for those of you that are watching, there'll be an iCard, and it'll drop down. When you click on it, it'll drop down, and there'll be a poll. And so my question is, what would you like to see next? And I think I have 4 choices. So I'm going to say more canning videos for one choice, more outdoor vlogging, let's see, more recipes, and maybe I should narrow that down, maybe more baking, how's that, and more scratch recipes, or let's see, maybe I'll put, yeah, I mean, go ahead and look at those, but I'm going to say more canning, more garden vlogging, more using what you have in your home canned pantry to incorporate into meals, which I think is huge. I think that's huge. And more grocery shopping hauls. How's that? And you can see where our channel goes from there, and it'll give you a scale, so everybody go over there and check it out and put in your input, and everything's anonymous, so it just gives us a great idea of what to do. And I'll probably do a couple videos asking you questions, so you guys can chime in and let me know. All right, guys, I can't wait to see you next time for another delicious salsa. And I am gonna film that. Or baking, I just baked the other night, and it was so fantastic. I love getting in there and baking, and fall's right around the corner, so we'll be doing some more of that. And I promise, because this is the last piece of, look at that. That is rhubarb swirl, and these are like cinnamon rolls, only rhubarb. So I promise you, I am going to make a batch of these, and I'm going to bring you along for that, so don't worry about that. I just wasn't in the mood to try to educate myself any faster with the new camera, so I think I'm getting it down though. Okay, so I'm going to take a couple pictures and let you go, and as always guys, I can't wait to see you next time. Bye.